So leading from the front, this is a popular cultural belief. And when I looked it up, dictionary.com says lead from the front is taking an active role in what is one urging you and directing others to do. And sometimes I wonder if leading from the front, that person gets tangled up in the details, micromanages, and is missing seeing the big picture. And so my idea, leading from the back, it sounds counterintuitive to what culture would have you believe. So I'd like to join you in this story. My husband and I went to Canada and we went on a dog sledding tour, which, by the way, if you haven't done, it's fabulous. It's definitely a bucket list item. Do it if you have the opportunity. Our tour guide, before we even got onto the sled and went on our tour, there was things that he needed to explain. And he started by saying that there is a certain way that he positions each dog. And he called it the one best arrangement, meaning there is several possibilities in which to place the dogs, but there is one best arrangement in which all dogs will perform at their highest. He said, before you can even start to put the dogs in their proper order, you need to know the dog intimately. You need to know its strengths. You need to know its weaknesses. You need to know what it looks like when it's tired, when it's bored, when it's fatigued. And once you know those intimate details about that animal, then you can put it into one best arrangement. So that was kind of the first rule he set for us. He then goes on to say, the first two dogs are your lead dogs. They are the smartest. They take the most initiative. They can detect the path when maybe the path isn't even visible to the musher. And so those are your two front dogs. There's a total of 6 dogs. He goes on and he says the next 2 dogs are your swing dogs or your pacer dogs. Now, these dogs know each other very well, and they set the pace for the team. They know when to forge ahead and go a little bit faster. They also know when to pull back as the dogs get tired on the trail. And then the final 2 dogs, the dogs closest to the sled, those are your pull dogs or your strength dogs. They pull the most weight. And he says that as you approach an incline, the dogs know if the musher is working with the team or is the musher staying on the sled and just letting the dogs do all the work. And he says, if the dogs don't think that you're pulling your weight and running with the team, they will give you a dirty look. And as he was saying this, I wasn't quite sure if he was joking or not. So it's my turn to be the musher, and I jump on the sled. Now, I need it noted that I'm not a very big human. I'm like 5 feet tall, 125 pounds. And not knowing whether he was joking about that or not, I decided to test him in saying that. So we come to an incline and I just stay on the sled. I do nothing else. And sure enough, my male pull dog on the left, he gives me the dirtiest look that a dog could possibly give. Now you could imagine I was completely confused. I wasn't sure whether I should laugh. I wasn't sure if I should jump off quickly and run like I was Usain Bolt as quickly as I can. I hope you know I did choose to eventually jump off and run with my team. I didn't want them to have to pull up the slack. So it got me thinking, are you a leader of a team? Are you on a team? And let me be clear, you do not have to have a title to be a leader. Some of the most influential leaders I have ever had the privilege of working with didn't have a title. But if you lead a team, if you are on a team, do you know intimately your team's strengths and weaknesses? Do you know their signs of fatigue and boredom and injury? Do you have your team in the one best arrangement? Meaning, do you have your people in their places? I worked with a company where the CPA for that company, that was not her gift. Her gift was marketing. She wasn't in the right position, even though that's what she went to school for and had all the credentials for. We moved her to marketing and we saw her blossom. So do you have the people in the right places? And lastly, if you are the musher, are you watching your whole team? Are you moving them accordingly? And most importantly, are you jumping off when the terrain gets rough and when the terrain gets an incline? If you're leading from the front, I mean, literally in the front, how can you possibly see what is going on behind you? It's an interesting point, right? And so I would like to challenge everybody to take a look at your team and try leading from the back, because I feel like a true leader puts people in their correct positions to succeed. They build them up and not tear them down. And they run with the team when things get hard. And so I would like to challenge everybody, lead from the back and see what it does. Adopt the thought pattern that I only succeed when my team succeeds. And I hope that you cross the finish line.